How we doing? This video is going to be called nutrition. Um, a lot of the nutrition we eat nowadays is no good. A lot of it's processed food. Which that means is GMO, which is genetically modified organisms. Is what that stands for. A lot of the corn starch and the corn syrup, which is in everything, right? It's genetically modified, which is not good for the body. It doesn't help it. They artificially take out the ingredients, the organisms in the plants and in the food in general, and they replace it with whatever they want, really, or they'll take out the nutrition that you need. I'm 31, right? So what I remember back in the day, I'm not too old, but I remember back in the day, like in the 2000s, like in the 1995s, 98s, somewhere around there, food was pretty good. 1990s, in the mid 90s, you go to the grocery store, say Walmart or whatever, and you get an apple, you get an orange, you get a banana, and it would feel like it was helping you. It would feel like you were getting your nutrients that you needed. It would feel good to you. Fast forward, celery and all that stuff was good. There was a point in time where, fast forward to like the 2000s, 2001s, 2002s, there was a point where all of a sudden I started to eat these same fruits and vegetables. It wouldn't taste the same. The look of all of these vegetables are totally different now. If you really have paid attention to that type of stuff, and if you felt it, you can really feel it. It's no good. It's no good. That's sad. That's very sad. These Monsanto's pricks have a big part to play in that. They're going down. They're going down. I actually went to that place. Metaphysically, I went to that place, and I saw like the lab they had in there, and there was an Anunnaki reptilian being in there, just trying to overseeing stuff. I saw him. I think there was another one. This was a month ago. This was a little while back, but I talked to him, and I tried to get why he's doing it. I tried to understand what the hell are you doing, man. I tried to talk to him. And he didn't want to hear that. He had an attitude. He had this self-entitled attitude, like he could just do whatever he wants. I don't want to talk about this too much because I'm gonna get too mad, but so I'm arguing with him, and and then this is a while back, and so I left, and then but that's where it comes from. I mean, a lot of it comes from that. But in the mid 90s, 98, 99, 2000s, when I really started noticing the food tasted horrible, like it just didn't feel right at all. And then when you come to find out and do your research a little bit, it's genetically modified, for goodness sake. So that's crazy. That's crazy. That's stupid. Really, that's ridiculous. The plan here started from the original first being male and female, and it was implemented through the Anunnaki reptilians. Not all of them, just the people that wanted to follow that system. The Anunnaki reptilian beings are a fantastic race. I need to say that they are a fantastic race. They are awesome. But there's a group of people that are Anunnaki that don't give a crap. There's also a group of humans that don't give a crap about anything, you know. So you know, it is what it is. Plants are better for you than like the meat. Obviously, you want to try to stay away from the red meats. I know that's hard, you know, but I don't eat red meat anymore. I stay away from that. Makes me feel very lethargic, very slow. Just, you know, in my job I have to move all over the place, and you know I load boxes, you know, and I scan them. I got to scan in FedEx. I have to scan a certain amount an hour. It's 300 boxes an hour. So I'm always constantly moving. I'm moving different trailers, so I have to feel good. You know, I can't feel, you know, like a lump of, like a rock, you know, because that's what happens when you eat like hamburger meat, you know, steak, stuff like that. If you engorge yourself with that meat, you know, you're gonna feel like a lump of coal or a lump of rock, and it's gonna stick right here, and you're just gonna be lethargic, and you're not wanting to move. Now, I say that meat is good for you in moderation, right? Just like alcohol, in moderation, wine or whatever, you know. You have to know when to quit. You have to know when it's good for you. Your body craves it, because we're physical. This is the 3D realm that we're in, you know. But I stay away from the red meat. But your body, I like to have some chicken breast, a little bit, some chicken breast, the white meat, okay. I eat eggs. It's for my protein. And then I also, my main protein is plant protein. It's lentils is what I have. I have lentils, and I'll have black beans. I'll mix those. I'll have like a chili, you know. Then I'll put some chicken in there. I have rice, white rice, and then brown rice. Depends on how I feel. Brown rice is more filling. It fills you up more. It lasts. Your energy lasts longer. That's what brown rice is. That's what it does to your body. White rice is it's a carb, you know. The white rice is a very quick. It's fast acting. It reacts quickly in the body. A lot quicker, and it gets absorbed, and it puts into the bloodstream very quickly. Brown rice has a prolonged effect. Fills you up, and it lasts a little bit longer. It's a weight loss grain at the same time. It helps you lose weight too. A lot of people don't understand how to gain and lose weight. That's been manipulated, obviously. You know, I mean, everything has been manipulated. Everything. It's annoying. You know, it's ridiculous, but it's something we have to deal with, and it's up to us, and it's up to people that really want to know the information. It's up to you to figure that out. It's up to you to research that. It's up to you to feel it, first of all. You know? I'm going to go on a tangent here. I'm going to go all over the place in this video. But, let me show you what the plant essence looks like, actually. This is what it'll look like if you're looking. This is the spirit of the being, okay? It is not the aura, all right? It's not that. This is the spirit. This is what it looks like. In a tree, okay? It looks like this. Look, it's essence. So there's the essence. You can tell this is the essence, okay? Because of the outer blue ring here. And it's got the yellow in the middle, and it's got this. Oh, this is upside down. Hold on. Now, you know. But, and then I found out that you'll see this a little bit of green right in the middle of it. And it looks like this beautiful spirit, huh? It's a beautiful spirit look. So that's what plant essence looks like in the body, okay? The spirit looks like this, all right? Beautiful, beautiful spirit there. There's a tree right out here, right outside the porch. I'm at a top level here. I'm at the second level, and there's a tree right outside the front door, and she's fantastic. She's fantastic. Her name is Isabel. That's her name. I talk with her quite a bit. She's very nice, very sweet. But anyway, that's what that looks like. Just a second. Okay. I'll show you what Fey essence looks like. I forgot to show you that. It looks exactly like the human essence. It's essence, so it's got the blue black ring around it, you know. Development of lives. Okay. All right. So that's there. It looks like this, but none of that's in there. Okay, but it does have the same blue and black ring around it, but none of that's in there. That's what Fey essence looks like. When you look at people in their spirit, you're gonna notice plant essence. You're gonna notice. You might notice that. That's what I've experienced. If you don't experience that and you experience something else and you understand that for what that is, then use that. Okay? I'm not trying to tell people this is what it is. This is what I experienced. This is what I see. And no one has corrected me. Like, so, and, you know, that's what I see every time I look at people's spirit. If you see something different, you know, don't get frustrated or whatever. You know, you do it however you want to do it, and if you understand it a different way, you take it and go that way with it. Okay, don't try to adopt what I think and feel and stuff like that, because that's not you. That's me, right? So you do it the way you feel, you think you need to, and do it in the way you look at it. Okay. Now we learn and grow all the time, right? So our feelings and opinions and the way we look at things change all the time. So change is the only thing that is consistent, right? That's the only thing that is consistent. If you understand that, then you'll have a better understanding of life, really, you know. But so what was I talking about? The nutrients. Yeah, like I said, this video is going to be all over the place. My brain is just going all over the place. I need to calm down a little bit. But anyway, I had a health scare about 2 years ago. It was low blood sugar. It was hypoglycemia. It was the start of hypoglycemia. If you don't know what hypoglycemia is, it's a low or high blood sugar. It's the beginning of diabetes, is what it is. It's the very onset. It's the start of a diabetes. So if you don't get it corrected before it gets too worse, then you start to have diabetes, and you have to take insulin shots. There's a reason why you're taking insulin shots, because your insulin in your body is all messed up. Doesn't know what to do. It does its own thing. It's supposed to be balanced within your bloodstream, but your insulin will start to produce high amounts of stuff. I don't know what kind of stuff, but which will raise and lower your blood sugar like a lot. I had low blood sugar, so I was dropping. I would eat, right, and then all of a sudden I'd feel like I just want to fall asleep, or like I had no energy within like a certain period of time. My jobs I require a lot of energy, so um, there's a food that can combat that, and it's a superfood, and it's called an avocado. An avocado is fantastic. I recommend everyone to eat avocados. Two or three times a week. More than that. But I'm fine now. But I got it all straight. I had to learn it. I didn't know, so I had to get online and learn ins and outs of the insulin spikes and stuff. The avocado works well with your insulin to balance it out, and which insulin will balance the bloodstream. I noticed immediately when I started eating avocados, when I was feeling that about 2 years ago, when I was feeling that, I immediately felt a boost in energy because it raised it to where it needed to be, and then I had to eat I couldn't eat meat because meat raises the sugar in it, so it raises too quickly. I couldn't eat carbs for a little while. I had to have lettuce. I had to have lentils. This got me on to eating lentils. Because I wasn't eating super healthy all the time. But this was a scare that put me into the right foods: lentils and beans. Onions, spinach, stuff like that. Avocados. Avocados are fantastic for your bloodstream. But it goes along the lines of nutrition. I recommend anyone to eat avocados all the time, really. But anyway, well, the reason why I had the health scare is because the jobs I have breeds. Well, since we work our butt off and we're sore a lot, we only get 30 minutes for lunch. But and you have to, sometimes you have to work through breaks if everything is timed. Back then when I was working, you're constantly sore, so it's like what comes about is drugs come about, right? Pharmaceutical drugs. People go to the doctors on purpose now to get hurt, to get the hydrocodone pills, all those sort of pills, the Oxycontins, the Roxycontin, or the Roxy, they call them Roxys. But so when you work at a warehouse, you're gonna get that world will come into play. Drugs, weed, cocaine, stuff like that. I was heavy, not heavy, but heavy in marijuana, yes. Which what marijuana does is it lowers your blood sugar, right? So if you're not eating healthy and you're constantly lowering your blood sugar all the time, I smoked a lot, like 3 years straight. It was constant. We did it at work. We weren't supposed to, but we did it on breaks and lunch. A warehouse type environment where they work their butt off, that will breed that. That will come into play most of the time. I found that out. I worked at 5 different warehouses, 6 different warehouses in my jobs, and that is always the case. Especially if you're working super hard, But that's how it came about. I wasn't eating healthy, and then I was also smoking a lot of weed. Now I'm done with that. What weed does to you is it definitely has properties that will help you. It really needs to be medically used most of the time. That's what it really needs to be used for. Believe me. All together, it's probably about 6 years total of smoking weed. 3 years nonstop for 3 years. Like I said, in breaks and lunches. So, and then I go home and do it. So, And that was one of the reasons why I got broke up with an ex-girlfriend. Actually, she was two exes now, but that was some of the reason, a lot of the reason. But what marijuana does to you is a lot of people smoking marijuana, and it's not too great. It helps. It helps for like recovery helps with recovery. It helps with your joints and stuff like that. That's the healthy part of it. But you can easily get messed with. It affects your seeing. Your metaphysical abilities are very affected with marijuana. They're big time affected. It's big time. Every time you try to go see anything, it will be foggy. It's very foggy. It's not clear at all, So I would advise to stay away from the weed. Believe me, it's not great. It's good, but it's not great. You know what I'm saying? Just like alcohol. It's good, but it's not great. Anything in moderation, right? You don't want to go too crazy with something, because then it'll turn into a habit. It'll turn into an addiction. So a lot of this stuff, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I've done through the research, right? That's how you start waking up. That's where you start. That's where I started. That's where most people will start. Is you'll start to feel things. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes any sense. I know the government doesn't care. Everybody really can feel that. The government doesn't care. Now it's really known because Trump puts that in your face. He puts it in your face that it's not really. We don't care. That's what they're basically saying. But when I started waking up, it's a research havens. You just research everything. I'm just researching all kinds of stuff, and obviously you get pulled into certain situations that aren't really right. Like this new age stuff. It's a start. When it first started, when it first came out, the new age stuff is when I was really heavily into research and everything, and I followed that a little bit, not very long. I followed it a little bit, but then you come to find out, it's really not what it is. We're not going to a fifth dimension. That's not happening. We're not ascending to a fifth dimension. Sorry, that's not happening. When you die, your body's done. You just go back to the second dimension. Why would you go to a fifth dimension? That doesn't really make any sense. And you're not gonna ascend while in a body because that's impossible. That's not gonna happen. But eating healthy helps with just feeling better. Helps a lot. Makes you feel better. That's for sure. The frequency stuff. I used to listen to the 528 hertz. They call it the love frequency. It's just a relaxing. It's a G and a C on a keyboard is what it is. That's the love frequency. It's a G and a C on the keyboard. On the keyboard, a G and a C. So, hold those together, and then there you go. You have the 528 hertz, which vibrates at a relaxed frequency. Is all that is. I used to listen to those little frequency deals, like the pineal frequencies. It's 936 hertz. So that's the vibrating of the sound of it. I used to listen to that all the time. But once you understand that you're a spirit in a body and that you have abilities that you can use, then all that stuff just falls away, really. It just kind of drops, you know. That's what happens. You know, you start to understand what's real, you know. That stuff is real, but it's not going to get you to where you're going to use your abilities, and you're going to use your pineal, you're going to use your scanner, you're going to use your heart, you know, in a capacity every day to where you can get used to doing it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm all over the place, but anyway. So anyway, Monsanto's, those idiots are going down. They ain't got nothing to do with anything. So don't worry about those people. You know, what you really try to need to do is you need to feel the food that you need to eat. You know, try to stay away from the heavy meats. And now I know, you know, the people that are watching this, and you know, they're good with that probably, but not everybody is. So just some information. Well, I think I'm gonna quit here. Plant essence is awesome. Oh, I was gonna say this. My very first life was on Gaira. I'm Essence. I'm Flaming Essence with Angel Energy, which makes me an Essential. But I also have Animal Essence in me as well. My first life was a plant. That was my first life. I'll actually tell you my first 3 lives. I probably should have said this in the other video with the spirit and past lives, but you know, busy, gotta do stuff. Forgot. But my first life was a flower. I was a flower. What I was a flower plant on Gaira, and it wasn't very long. It didn't last very long, right? That's an interesting choice to be a flower your first life. I liked how people came up and felt me and rubbed on me and stuff like that, and sniffed me and stuff. So it didn't last very long. My second life, I was like, well, crap. You know, it's very dainty type body, right? So I'm going to be, well, when I was a flower, I noticed a panther come by. Now, it was way bigger than a panther because it's on Gaira. Gaira was a huge planet. When I was a flower, I saw it was like as big as a tiger, but it was a panther color. It was black, and it was just around me, you know, going through the grass. And I was like, man, I'm gonna be one of those next life. You know what I mean? So I was one of those, and then I found out, whoa, this is rough too. So I gotta, you know, end up fighting other animals that look like me, end up dying like that way. I think I was ambushed by a couple of them, and end up dying. So I'm like, crap, you know, that was crazy. So I'm gonna be a tree, right? I'm gonna be a tree. And so I kind of regretted it because I lived for so long. I actually don't know how long I lived, but it feels like it's like 200 to 250 years in that tree body that I was in. That's the first 3 lives. Very first 3 lives of mine. I kind of regretted it. I was like, man, you know, I've been alive for a while. I want to do something different. That's kind of how I felt a little bit. But definitely picked up knowledge, right? So that was my first 3 lives on Gaira, the planet Gaira, which is 270 times the mass of Jupiter. Humongous. Gaira is in the star Essenite. Sorry. She's in the star Essenite stones, and in the Dragon Star Essenite. Anything that's Essenite, Gaira is probably in it, and Gaia is in it also. So anyway, I really don't know what else to say about the nutrition. So I guess I'll stop here. Y'all take it easy.